Bliss Flame Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. Right now, I got a crazy topic here I need to discuss with the people right now, and it's involving Mr. LeBron James. Yes, it's crazy because, like I said, LeBron is in Cleveland right now, and he's been the captain of this All-Star game for a long time. But right now, LeBron James is currently planting the seeds, you understand, for his departure from Los Angeles. And it's evident, it's clear, there's no debating. You understand? And you see it, week in and week out. All the noise, all the chatter, trust me, the plants, the seeds are being placed. And this shit ain't just happening for no reason. You see all this speculation going on with LeBron James. LeBron James is unhappy with the Los Angeles Lakers for whatever reason, but it is what it is. We're going to get into it. Let me tell you rule number one. LeBron James has nobody to blame but his goddamn self for what's going on with the Los Angeles Lakers. For you to come out talking about you unhappy. Clutch Sports has grown unhappy. You understand? I mean, shit, you done made all these moves. You had a hand in all these moves. And they trying to say the camel that broke the straw, you understand, was the situation with Russell Westbrook and John Wall. Now I think that's very egregious and that's very disgusting. That you pinpoint that. You understand, is something that's like, oh, I'm unhappy. I don't like what's going on. LeBron James has to hold himself accountable. Look, Anthony Davis, you pushed for Anthony Davis. You could have had a collection of young assets in Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Zubac, Hart, the list goes on. Those guys could have really propelled you, especially as you go into your advanced age right now, where you can't do everything. You can't make all the plays. You can't make all the shots. You understand? So you would have had all of these young gunners in place to help you. But somewhere down the line, you didn't want the help. But the chickens have come home to roost in Los Angeles. And Rob Pelinka is at the forefront of it. He's going to be the fall guy for this. I expect major changes in the city of Los Angeles after this season, whether they make the playoffs or not, because you cannot roll back into this season with this roster, with this culture, with this mindset going in the next season. Something must change. But LeBron James, man, for him planting these seeds is disgusting. This is going to be a everlasting pattern for LeBron. The first year in Cleveland, you left. Miami, you left. You went back to Cleveland, you left. I'm trying to figure out, Laker fans, do you think that he was planning on retiring with the Lakers? You just hear words coming out that LeBron is headed out with Bronny whenever he steps foot on the league, no matter if he get drafted by the Utah Jazz, Memphis, wherever. He will be there with his son, you understand? And what does that mean for the Los Angeles Lakers? I don't know. I expect LeBron James to just stick it out, until Bronny gets in position. Now, would he pull a crazy trick bag and mess around and leave? To be honest with you, LeBron James is upset for no apparent reason. The Lakers, they done gunned out all their assets in terms of tradable picks, you understand, goddamn players. You gave it all up. I'm just saying, at some point, you got to hold yourself accountable. You could have had DeMar DeRozan. You could have had much other people other than Russell Westbrook. LeBron James chose Russell Westbrook. Carmelo Anthony went on live television with Gilly the Kid and Wilder on All the Smoke. It was on YouTube, pardon me. One of the hottest podcasters in the country. And he uttered the remarks. Yeah, man, was you ready to come? Ready? Yeah, I'm ready. He was like, like talk to the GM. He said, talk to the GM. You are the GM. You understand? That was Carmelo Anthony's remarks towards LeBron James. He pulled the curtain over him and revealed that who was the real hand in the Los Angeles Lakers progression. And that would be no other than Mr. LeBron James. Yes, himself. So at the end of the day, that's what's going on out here. But for LeBron to plant these seeds, man, it's messed up, man. You need to take your ass out back home. You understand? And do what you got to do, man. Go back to Los Angeles. Your nice estate out in Brentwood. Get to the drawing board and get your ass to work and get this Laker franchise, your franchise, back to the promised land. Because Rob Pelinka, yeah, he gonna take the fall, but he consulted with you on every single move before he pulled the trigger. You understand? So it's got to be joint. Everybody got to take something out of this. You can't just throw it on Pelinka. And this what Magic seen. I think Magic seen what was going on before it happened. He was early on this. Some people want to kill Magic, criticize Magic, but Magic did the right thing. He left because there's a lot of collusion going on in LA. There's a lot of he say, she say. There's a lot of people just getting appointed positions that shouldn't be. And the right people cannot make the decisions. And that's the problem going on in the city of Los Angeles. And like I said, LeBron is at the forefront of all of it. Right now, he's using Russell Westbrook as the scapegoat. For the first time ever, LeBron has a valid reason to scapegoat Russell Westbrook. I'm telling you, it is his fault, but LeBron has blame in this too. Anthony Davis has blame in this too. For LeBron, for instance, how can you just unload every single young asset that this team had? You understand and think that it wasn't going to come back to bite you. It was crazy. You couldn't make it work with not one of them. You're not one of them. You understand? You kept Kuz, and I'm thinking Kuz gonna rock out with you for a while. But shit, you was just trying to see if you could use Kuz for a blockbuster. And once he realized Kuz wasn't gonna be a big enough piece to pull off a mega trade, he damn near was alienating him. And like I said, he had to go. It was nowhere that he could have rolled into this season under LeBron James. That's why he's out in Washington, where he will do well. But nonetheless, man, LeBron James and Clutch Sports growing unhappy with their situation in LA is just comical. It's just comical. LeBron James got to get himself together, man. And like I said, his legacy will be great. At the end of the day, LeBron James is one of the greatest basketball players in the history of the game of basketball. Me personally, he's one of the greatest players I ever seen, if not the best. His legacy will be a guy who went deep into his career playing at a high level. But also, what will go on his resume is a guy who went on different teams, played on super teams, damn near started them, and always stacked the deck, and maneuvered young assets, to do it. That's gonna be something that's on his resume years from now, and nobody's gonna be able to take it away. But nonetheless, man, he's a great player, man, one of the greats ever, and he's got to figure this thing out with LA. So at some point, LeBron, you got to look in the mirror because you have a hand in this too. LeBron James and Clutch Sports have planted the seeds for his early departure from the city of Los Angeles. And I'm telling you, if things don't get turned around, he could be on his way out the door sooner than later. It's Flight Sports.